I want to speak about Vedanta as well as this mantra chanting philosophy.
Yes.
Vedanta and the Vedas in general contain deep knowledge on multiple subjects.
Yes.
Right? Most Hindus, in terms of what they believe about Sanatana Dharma or Hinduism, are effectively following the knowledge of the four Vedas.
Yes.
In many ways, the Bhagavad Gita may be understood to be a condensed form of what's in the Vedas.
Yes.
Right? So when you are born in a Hindu family and you're trying to understand Hinduism more deeply, try understanding what's written in the four Vedas. Okay, and I'm sure, ma'am, when you began studying the Vedas and you finished your journey of studying them to a certain degree, you were left with an amount of knowledge. But do the four Vedas contain information about the deities and the mantras related to the deities? Or did you take that information and then life happened and you were brought to your current Guru Sampradaya?
This is what happened. The latter part of it. I was brought into a deeper understanding of where I belong and what my past, lineages, etc. However, the Vedas don't talk about Devi Devtas. The Vedas, Vedic time gods were very few. Agni and, Saraswati, Agni, very few gods. Nature gods were there. They were nature gods. So they talk about rituals there. There's a lot of karma kand. There is a Jnana Kand and Karma Kand.
What is that?
Vedas mein, what I say, mantras, brahmanas, aryanakas and Upanishad, right? There's compilation of mantras, compilation of rituals, yagyas to be done, what we do, fire ceremonies, different kinds of, and a systematic way of how to do it, what ingredients, how to invoke, etc. We call it Karma Kand. Karma Kand means for all the different phases of your life, you do the Mundan Sanskar and you do the marriage Sanskar and you do the death Sanskar. For all these, there are set rituals and set, all of this comes in the previous part of the Vedas, which we don't study as seekers. Those are studied by the Gurukul system people who go into Pandit training and they learn all that. People like me who are interested in the Vedic wisdom, we study the last part of it, which is called Upanishads or Vedanta. So Upanishads don't talk about gods and goddesses. They don't talk about, it talks only about Brahman, that means Paramatma. So associated with the Upanishad, the later part of the Vedic culture has gone into Puranas. You have the 18 Purans and you have the epics, Ramayana, Mahabharata and everything. Then Vedangas are there, the different sciences which were practiced, the Nurvidya and, Vastu Shastra and all of this. So it's a later part of the Anga of the Vedas. Vedas per se, we don't study the entire Veda because it's not a part of my subject study. I don't want to know about the different rituals and sacrifices and what are the, I'm interested in the philosophy part because it divinizes my intellect and because I can guide humanity, whoever is in my student community, I can guide them to lead a better life. Now, what is the basic content of the Vedanta? Basic content of the Vedanta is to transcend suffering and to enter into a liberated Jivan Mukti, we call it Jivan Mukt. Jivan Mukt means while you're alive, you're liberated from all the hassles of life. How would you train your thought, mind, brain in such a way that like a lotus, there's not a single drop of water that stays on you, like a swan, not a single drop of water will wet your feathers, and you are in a elated, we call it in Bhagavad Gita, it's called Sthit Pragya. Prajahati yada kaman saman partha manogatan atmanyav atmanah tushtaha sthita pragyascha dochate. Person is happy in his own being. That's the state that Vedanta wants every human being to be. So, uski satta hai. We say that the God is ruling over the entire creation and it's his play, it's his game. When would a person reach into this level of Jivan Mukti? Is again Kripa Sadhya, not Karma Sadhya. That means it is full of grace, and when the grace showers, when will the grace shower? When we are ready. It's like, I tell many of my students, every day get up in the morning, go to the balcony, stretch out your hands, look at the rising sun and say, I'm ready. I'm ready. So you're not becoming an obstruction to your own growth.
What have you learned about time?
Yeah.
What is time?
What is time? It's just a meter for our physical understanding on Earth. It has got no reality outside this.
Because I've had astrophysicists on the show.
Yeah.
Even the world of physics has not understood time.
It's not there only. It's a hypothetical. But we use it as a tool.
What's written about time in the Vedas?
Time is it's written at the soul level. There's no time. We come to the subtler level. See, Vedantic wisdom will always talk about any subject at 3 levels: gross, subtle, causal. At the gross level and at the subtler level, gross level, time is a reality.
Which is our level.
Yeah, it's a reality, a physical waking state, what we call it. In the waking state, time is a reality. In the dream state, that means when you go to bed at night, for instance, everything is withdrawn. All your body organs, the nerves are withdrawn and only the mind is working. There, time is a reality before and after. That means you travel through timelines in your subtle state. You could be 200 years before, you could be 200 years later in your mind, in your subtle body. And when you go into a deep sleep state, which is the causal, at that time is not existing. It's dissolved.
It's like those kind of phases of sleep where you close your eyes and you open them and you're really fresh.
Yes.
And it feels like 30 seconds have passed.
Yes.
But it's actually night-long sleep.
Yes. Deep sleep state. Their time is not existing.
Okay. Are you trying to understand it more at this stage?
I don't think so. It could be a limitation for the audience to hear a statement like this, but I don't feel the need to understand anything.
After studying the Vedas.
After knowing God.
If you enjoyed today's clip, make sure you check out these curated playlists that we've made especially for you related to the subject that was spoken about in this clip.